So it's a foregone conclusion that I think the manual transmission is the best transmission by far for a Mini Cooper. But I thought it would be interesting to do a little side-by-side comparison. So today, I have a 2020 Mini Cooper with a DCT transmission, and I have a 2021 Mini Cooper with a 6-speed manual. We're going to take both of these out and show you which one is the best. But first, we're going to go around the two cars and give you a little walkthrough of the features and what's available on this vehicle. So let's get to it. So naturally, I brought out a British Racing Green Mini Cooper hardtop, but I also brought a Solaris Orange Mini Cooper hardtop. Now, these cars look identical, but this one has the DCT transmission, and this one has the 6-speed manual. This is a 2021 model, while this is a 2020 model. So, what is different about these two cars aside from transmissions? Well, let's start with the interior. The interior of the British Racing Green Cooper hardtop has the standard bench-style bucket seats. As you can see, very plain, no adjustable thigh rests, no side bolsters, basic stuff. And of course, we have the 7-speed DCT transmission. If we come over here to the 2021 model, you'll notice that it has the sport bucket seats and of course the 6-speed manual transmission. Aside from transmissions and colors, and of course the two different seat styles, these two cars are basically identical. But that's where things end, because this one has a manual and the green one has an automatic. And yes, I know what you're thinking, DCT is a dual clutch transmission, but it's still an automatic transmission in how it shifts, how it drives. There's really no difference, so I'm calling it an automatic for this video. So now comes the best part of the video. We're going to take both of these cars out one at a time and figure out which one is the best. Now, obviously, for me, the 6-speed manual will be the perfect transmission for me, but I'm going to start off with the 7-speed DCT because that is the newest transmission by far for the Mini lineup, and I'm sure you all are curious about my thoughts with the car. So, we have this green Mini Cooper hardtop right here. I have a camera mounted on the outside, but I may not get much video from it, but we'll try. I have a camera mount in the windshield, so you'll see my reactions and you can hear me, and we're going to get started. So for the purposes of this driving video, I'm going to keep the settings the same. Now, obviously, the Cooper in the US market does not have the driving modes anymore. So there's not much I can change in this car aside from putting the car into Sport Automatic, which is not necessarily needed in this case. So we're going to leave it in regular drive mode just because most people are going to drive it in regular drive mode. So we're going to start the car. And we got a full tank of gas, so that's a good thing. No radio, don't need it. Now, here's where things get interesting. I'm going to put it in drive. And it kind of started a little slow there. So, that's something I've noticed. Oh, there we go. Now it's going. This is something I've noticed with the DCT transmission in the Cooper, is the fact that there's kind of a delay in how it shifts and when it shifts, which is rather strange. But we're going to take the same road, same route, and then we'll have a conclusion when I'm done. So off the line, it's a little on the slow side to respond, which is very disappointing. Although it's a little bit quicker in the Cooper S, as the DCT in the Cooper S is a sport transmission, whereas the DCT in the Cooper isn't. So, what does that mean? That means it's a normal automatic transmission, a bit boring. Otherwise, it's not bad. It's a capable car. My only complaint is the seats have no thigh bolsters, no side bolstering, so if you go around a hard corner in this thing, you're going to be sliding around the seat, And I know a lot of you would prefer to not be sliding around your seats. So that makes this a little bit difficult. That being said, the car is still nicely equipped. You still have a sunroof, panorama sunroof in here. You still got the mini connected system, the driving system, the screen here. You also have what looks like collision avoidance system in here, which is kind of neat for a 2020 model, which is not something you would find normally. It normally would have been an option. In this case, it's standard on some of these cars now, on most of these cars in the US market. You got heated seats in here. I mean, it's not a badly equipped car. It's just that it has the DCT transmission, and in Cooper form, I'm not necessarily a fan of it. That being said, if you pop it into sport automatic, it's even slower, it seems. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of grunt. It doesn't have a lot of get up and go, which I'm not very fond of. I want it to have more get up and go. I want to put my foot down and have it accelerate, and it doesn't seem to want to do that. It does it eventually, but not when you want it to. So we're going to take this car back to the dealership, and I'm going to take out the orange manual transmission Cooper, and we'll see how it stacks up to this car. So I have to turn around at some point, so I might as well just do it now. Well, that was a little quicker than I thought. Oh, anyway, so there's the car I was driving. Now we're going to head to this one, the 2021 Mini Cooper with the manual transmission. So let's see how that is. I wonder if I snap my fingers again if I get in the car. I knew it wasn't going to be that easy. All right, well, let's get to it. So now we're inside the 2021 Mini Cooper hardtop with the manual transmission. So I'm going to get myself comfy. Need to be able to get the clutch. We're good. So already, it's a little bit different because you have to let up on the clutch and let the car go. Wow. I like how a new clutch feels. This already feels faster than the automatic one I was just driving. So that is nice. I like that. And here we go. Yeah, this is already a quicker car. Just from going from an automatic to a manual, this is already a faster vehicle. And the reason why is because you can change the gears rather than the car deciding when it wants to change the gears. So you get to do your own gear changing. So I'm in 4th gear right now. Now I'm in 5th. Whereas when I entered the highway on the DCT car, I was in 6th or 7th by the time I got on the highway. And now right now I'm cruising in 5th because I don't need to be in 6th or 7th. In this case, it's a 6-speed manual. So I don't need to be in a higher gear already. I can use the full range of the car. And that's kind of what's great about the manual transmission in the Mini, is the fact that you can use the full range of the engine and you can use the full engine to its potential. In fact, the Cooper with the manual transmission, you use the full engine. You use the entire power band in this car. You don't just use a little bit here, a little bit there. You can use the entire thing. So you really drive the car. You really have to drive the car. And that's what's great about this, is you can do that. You get the full potential out of the car. You're not just automatically going into 6th or 7th gear and cruising along and that's it. I also like the fact that this one has sport bucket seats, so the comfort level is a little bit different. It's a little bit more, you feel a little bit more planted in the car. You don't feel like you're sitting on the car in a sense as much as you're sitting in the car. You actually feel like you're part of the driving experience, and that's also the way things go with manual transmission. You feel like you're part of the driving experience because you are in fact shifting. You're driving the car. Whereas I tend to look at automatic transmissions as more of a point and shoot thing. You kind of just get in the car, put it in gear, and go. You don't really think about what you're going to be doing with the driving of that car. And that's kind of a shame. I think that manual transmissions are the way to go with a car. And I think if a lot of teenagers learned how to drive on a stick shift and drove stick shift cars, there'd be a lot fewer people out there texting, because you really don't have time to think about texting and driving when you're shifting a manual transmission. So we're going to head back over to the dealership. I'm going to give you my synopsis of both cars, and we'll see. Obviously, we know which one's the best, but you had to see both cars to know for sure. So let's get back over there, and I'm going to see if I can snap my fingers again and go back over there. So 1, 2, 3. So anyway, when it comes right down to it, it's a matter of preference. I prefer the manual transmission. You might prefer the DCT, but you really have to drive both to get an idea. Now, that being said, if you don't know how to drive a stick shift, you're probably going to go with the DCT. If you're going to do the DCT, I recommend considering spending more and getting the Cooper S, because the throttle response is a bit better. It also has the driving modes, which is something you really need when you have the DCT transmission. I just think it's a little on the slow side in the Cooper. But if you can drive a stick shift and you want to just get a manual transmission and you want to get a base model Cooper, go with this. The 3-cylinder turbo is fantastic, and with a manual transmission, it makes a lot of sense. That being said, it's a little bit more fun when it had the driving modes, but it's not terrible now, even without the driving modes. I would still drive it. I think it's a great car. So it's really kind of well, it's all a matter of what you prefer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like below. Don't forget to comment. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, as I upload videos every Friday at 2 p.m. And if you enjoyed videos on the Cooper hardtop, Cooper S hardtop, whatever you want to have, go check out my playlist at the end of this video for the F56 generation of the Mini Cooper hardtop, and watch some of those videos. Come join me in those videos. It's great to come out and drive these cars and have fun with them, and I'm sure you enjoy watching these videos as well and seeing these fantastic cars. So head on over there, check out one of those videos, and as always, life is too short to drive a boring car, so drive a Mini. I'll catch you all later.